Energy management and audit. Energy management and audit में हम देखें definition, energy audit need, types of energy audit, energy management audit approach, understanding energy cost, benchmarking, energy performance, matching energy used to requirement, maximizing system efficiency, optimizing the input energy requirement, fuel and energy substitution, energy audit instruments. Definition and objective of energy management. The fundamental goal of energy management is to produce goods and provide service with the least cost and least environment effect. The term energy management means many things to many people. One definition of energy management is the judicious and effective use of energy to maximize profit and enhance the competitive position. Another comprehensive definition is the strategy of adjusting and optimizing energy using system and procedure so as to reduce the energy requirement per unit of output while holding the constant and reducing the total cost of producing the output from these systems. The objective of energy management is to achieve and maintain the optimum energy procurement and utilization throughout the organization. To minimize energy cost waste without affecting production and quality, to minimize the environment effect. Energy audit types and methodology. Energy audit is the key of systematic approach for decision making in the area of energy management. It attempts to balance the total energy input with its use and serves to identify all the energy stream in a facility. It quantifies energy usage according to its discrete function. Industrial energy audit is the effective tool in defining and pursuing comprehensive energy management program. As per the Energy Conservation Act 2001, energy audit is defined as the verification, monitoring and analyzing of use of energy including submission of technical report containing recommendation for improving energy efficiency with cost benefit analysis and action plan to reduce the energy consumption. Need for energy audit. In any industry, the three top operating expenses are often found to be energy, both electrical and thermal, labor and material. If one were to relate to the manageability of the cost and potential cost saving in each of above component, energy would invariably emerge as a top ranker, and thus energy management function constitute a strategic area of cost reduction. Energy audit will help to understand more about the way energy and fuel are used in any industry and help in identifying the area where waste can occur and where scope for improvement exists. The energy audit would give a positive orientation to the energy cost reduction, preventive maintenance and quality control program, which are vital for the production and utility activities. Such as audit program will help to keep focus on variation which occur in the energy cost and ability and reliability of supply of energy, decide an appropriate energy mix and identify energy conservation technology and retrofit for energy conservation equipment. In general, energy audit is the translation of conservation idea into realities while lending technical feasibility solution with economics and other organizational consideration within a specific time frame. The primary objective of energy audit is to determine the way to reduce the energy consumption per unit of product output to the lower operating cost. Energy audit provide a benchmark for managing energy in the organization and also provide the basis for planning a more effective use of energy throughout the organization. Types of energy audit. The types of energy audit to be performed depend on the function and type of industry and depth to which the final audit is needed and potential and magnitude of cost reduction desired. Thus, energy audit can be classified into two following types. One is primary audit, second is detailed audit. Primary energy audit methodology. Primary energy audit is the relative quick exercise to stabilize energy consumption in the organization, estimate the scope for saving, identify the most likely and easiest area for attention, identify immediate, especially no and low cost improvement saving, set a reference point, identify area for more detailed study management measurement, and primarily stage audit use existing and energy obtained data. डिटेल्ड एनर्जी ऑडिट मेथोडोलॉजी में क्या होता है एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ऑडिट प्रोवाइड ए डिटेल्ड एनर्जी प्रोजेक्ट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन प्लान फॉर द facility since it evaluate all major energy using system. This type of audit offer the most accurate estimate of energy saving and cost. It considered the interactive effect of all project account for the energy use of all major equipment and include detailed energy cost saving calculation and project cost. In a comprehensive audit, one of the key elements in the energy balance, this is based on the inventory of energy using system, assumption of current operating condition and calculation of energy use. This estimate use in then compared to utility bill charge. Detailed energy audit is carried out in three phases, phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. Pre-audit phase, second is audit phase and third is post-audit phase. Guide for conducting energy audit at a glance. Industry to industry, the methodology of energy audit needs to be flexible. A comprehensive 10-step methodology for conduct of energy audit at the field level is presented below. Energy manager and energy auditor may follow these steps to start with and add change as per their need and industry types. 10 types methodology for detailed energy audit. One step is pre-audit phase. Plan and organize walk-through audit and informal interview with the energy manager, production and plan manager. Purpose resource planning, stabilizing, organizing a energy audit team, organizing instrument and time frame, micro data collection suitable to type of industry, familiarization of process and plant activity, first-hand observation and assessment of current level operation and practice. Second step is conduct of brief meeting, awareness and program with all divisional head and personal concern. 2 to 3 hours. Purpose and result is building up of corporation, issue questionnaires for each department, orientation, awareness creation. Third is audit phase. Primary data gathering process flow diagram and energy utility diagram. The purpose of this historical data analysis, baseline data collection, prepare process flow chart, all service utility system diagram, example single line power distribution diagram, water, compressed air and steam distribution, design operating data and schedule of operation, annual energy bill and energy consumption pattern, referral to long sheet, nameplate and interview. Fourth step is conduct survey and monitoring. That is measurement, motor survey, insulation and lighting survey with a portable instrument for the collection of more and accurate data confirm and compare operating data with design data. And fifth step is conduct of detailed trial experiment for selected energy gadgets. That is trial experiment 24-hour power monitoring, MD, PF and KWH etc. Load variation trends in pump, fan and compressor. Sixth step is analysis of energy use. That is boiler efficiency trial 4 to 8 hour, furnace efficiency trial, equipment performance experiment, analysis of energy use, energy and material balance and energy loss and waste analysis. Seventh step is identification and development of energy conservation opportunity. That is identification and consolidation of ECON measures, conceive, develop and refine ideas, review and previous ideas suggested by unit personnel, review and previous ideas suggested by energy audit if any, use brainstorming and value analysis technique, contact vendor for new and efficient technology. Eighth step is cost benefit analysis. Assess technical feasibility, economic viability and prioritization of the in-con option of the implementation. Select the most promising project. Priorities by low, medium, long-term measures. Ninth step is reporting and presentation of top management. That is documentation, report presentation to top management. And phase third, post-audit phase. That is implementing and follow-up. assist and implement ENCON recommendation measures and monitor the performance, action plan, schedule for implementation, follow up and periodic review. First of all, we can see pre-audit phase activities. A structured methodology by carry out of energy audit is necessary for efficient working. An initial study of site should always be carried out as planning of the procedure necessary for the audit is most important. Initial site visit and preparation required for detailed auditing. An initial site visit may takes 1 day and gives the energy auditor engineer an opportunity to meet the personal concern and to familiarization him with the site and to assess the procedure necessary to carry out the energy audit. During the initial site visit, the energy auditor and engineer should carry out the following action. One is discuss with the site engineer, senior management of M2 energy audit, discuss the economic guidelines associated with the recommendation of audit, analyze the major energy consumption data with relevant personnel, obtain the site drawing where available building layout, steam distribution and compressed air distribution and energy distribution, tour the site accompanied by the energy and production. The main aim of the visit are to finalize energy audit team to identify the main energy consumption area and plant item to survive during the audit, to identify any existing instrumentation and additional metering required, to decide whether any meter will have to installed prior to the audit, that is kilowatt hour, steam, oil or gas meter, to identify the instrumentation required for carrying out the audit, to plan with time frame, to collect microdata on plant energy resources, major energy consumption center, to create awareness through the meeting and program. Second phase is detailed energy audit activity. Depending on the nature and complexity of site, a comprehensive audit can take from several weeks to several months to complete. Detailed studies to stabilize and investigate energy and material balance for the specific plant department or item of process equipment are carried out. Whenever possible, check and plan operation are carried out over the extended period of time at night and weekend as well as during the normal daytime working hours to ensure that nothing is overlooked. The audit program or audit report will include a description of energy input and product output by major department or by major processing function and will evaluate the efficiency to each step in the manufacturing process. Means of improving the efficiencies will be listed. At least primarily assessment of the cost of improvement will be made to indicate the expected payback on any capital investment needed. The audit report should conclude with the specific recommendation for the detailed engineering studies and feasibility analysis which must be performed to justify the implementation and those conservation measures that require investment. The information to be collected during the detailed audit include energy consumption by the type of energy by department by major items of process equipment by end use, material balance data, raw material, intermediate, final product, recycled material, use of discard and waste product, production of byproduct or reuse in other industries, energy cost and tariff data, process and material flow diagram, generation and distribution of site services, compressed air and steam, source of energy supply that is electricity from the grid or self-generation, potential for fuel substitution, process modification and use of cogeneration system, combined heat and power generation, energy management procedure and energy awareness training program within the establishment. Existing baseline information and report are useful to get the consumption pattern and production cost and productivity level in terms of the product per raw material input. An audit team should collect the following baseline data: technology, process and use and equipped details, capacity utilization, amount of type of input material used, water consumption, fuel consumption, electrical energy consumption, steam consumption, other inputs such as compressed air and cooling water, quantity and type of waste generated, percentage rejection and reprocessing efficiency and yield. Data collection hint. It is important to plan additional data gathering carefully. Here we are some basic tips to avoid the waste timing and effort. Measurement systems should be easy to use and provide the information to the accuracy that is needed, not the accuracy that is technically possible. Measurement equipment can be inexpensive flow rate using a bucket and stopwatch. The quality of the data must be such that the correct conclusions are drawn, what grade of product is on, and in the production norms. Define how frequent data collection should be account for process variation. Measurement exercise over abnormal workload periods such as startup and shutdown. Design values can be taken where measurements are difficult, cooling water through the heat exchange. Don't estimate when you can calculate and don't calculate when you can measure. Draw process flow diagram and list process step. Identify waste stream and obvious energy waste. And an overview of unit operation and important process step, area of material and energy use, and source of waste generation should be gathered and should be represented in flow chart as shown in figure. Existing drawing and record and show floor bulk through will be help in making the flowchart. Simultaneously, the team should identify the various input and output stream at each process step. Flowchart of the penicillin G manufacturing is given in flow diagram. Note the waste stream and obvious energy waste such as condensed drained and steam leakage has been identified in flowchart. The audit focus area depend on several issues like consumption of input resources, energy efficiency potential, impact of process step on entire process and intensify the waste generation, energy consumption. In the above process, the unit operations such as germinator and pre-fermenter and extraction are the major conservation potential area identified. First is energy, second is raw material. Raw material is germinator. Germinator, steam, air, cooling water and chilled water. That is condensate. Pre Pre-fermenter. Pre-fermenter steam, air, cooling water, chilled water, condensate. Then fermenter. Fermenter steam, air, water, cool water, condensate. Then chilled brine, non-filtered broth tank. Then filter press. Then extraction. So this is the seed inclusion, raw material, steam leak, raw material, and Michelin ETP waste stream and waste stream. Include is with the water to ETP. Identification of energy conservation opportunities. Fuel substitution identifies the appropriate fuel for efficient energy conservation. Energy generation identify efficiency opportunity in energy conservation equipment. Utilities such as captive power generation, steam generation in boiler, and thermic fluid heating, and optimal loading of DG set, that is diesel generator. Minimum excess air combustion with the boiler, thermic fluid heating, and optimizing existing efficiency and efficient energy conservation equipment, biomass, gasifier, and co-generation high efficiency DG set. Energy distribution identify efficiency opportunity networks such as transformer, cables, switchgears, and power factor improvement in electrical system, and chilled water, cooling water, hot water, and compressed air. Energy usage by the progress processes. This is where in major opportunity for improvement, and many of them are hidden. Process analysis is useful tool for process and integration measures, technical and economic feasibility. Technical feasibility should be address the following issue: technical abilities, space, skilled manpower, reliability, service, the impact of energy efficiency, measures on safety, quality, production or process, the maintenance required and spare ability. The economic viability often becomes the key partner for the management acceptance. The economic analysis can be conducted by using the variety of method. Example, payback method and internal rate of return method and net present value method for the low investment. Short duration measures which will attract economic viability simplest of the method and payback is usually sufficient. A simple worksheet for the assessing economic feasibility is provided, that is sample work sheet for economic feasibility, that is investment, equipment, civil work, instrument and auxiliary. Annual operating cost, that is cost of capital, maintenance, manpower, energy and depreciation. Annual saving, that is thermal energy, electrical energy, raw material and waste disposal. Net saving per year, annual saving, annual operating cost, that is equal to payback period in month, investment, net saving per year into 12. Classification of energy conservation measures. Based on the energy audit and analysis of plant, a number of potential energy saving projects may be identified. These may be classified into three categories: low cost, high return; medium cost, medium return; high cost, high return. Normally, the low cost, high return project receive priority. Other projects have to analyze engineering and budgeted for the implementing in the phased manner. Project relating to energy cascading and process change almost always involve high cost coupled with high return and may require careful scrutiny before funds can be committed. These projects are generally uh, complex and may require long lead times before they can be implemented according to the priority, economic feasibility, technical feasibility, and risk feasibility. Uh, According to priority, good, well defined and attractive; technical feasibility, existing technology adequate; risk feasibility, no risk, highly feasible; maybe economic feasibility, well defined and only marginally acceptable; technical feasibility, existing technology may be updated, lack of confirmation; and risk feasibility, minor operating risk and may be feasible. She held vacancy, economic feasibility, poorly defined and marginally unacceptable; technical feasibility, existing technology inadequate; and risk feasibility doubtful. Priority, no. Vacancy, economic feasibility clearly not attractive; technical feasibility need major breakthrough; and risk feasibility not feasible. Energy audit reporting format. After successful carried out energy audit, energy manager, energy auditor should report to the top management for effective communication and implementation. A typically energy audit reporting content and format are given below. The following format is applicable for most of the industries. However, the format can be suitably modified for the specific requirement applicable for the particular type of industry. So detailed energy audit table of content, acknowledgement, executive summary, energy audit option, at glance and recommendation, introduction about the plant, general plant details and description, energy audit team, component of production cost, raw material, chemical, manpower, overhead and other major energy use and area, production process and description, brief discussion and manufacturing process, process flow diagram and major unit operation, major raw material input and quantity and cost, energy and utility system description, list of utilities, brief description of each utility, electricity, steam, water, compressed air, chilled water and cooling water, detailed process flow diagram and energy material balance, flow chart showing flow rate, temperature and processes of all input output steam, water balance for entire industry, energy efficiency in utility and process system, specific energy consumption, boiler efficiency assessment and thermic fluid heater performance assessment, frequency efficiency analysis, cooling water system performance assessment, DG set performance assessment, refrigeration system performance, compressed air system performance, electrical motor load analysis, lighting system, energy conservation option and recommendation. List of options in terms of the no cost and low cost, medium cost and high investment cost, annual energy cost saving and payback, implementing plan for energy saving measures project, list of energy worksheet, list of instruments, list of vendors and other technical details. So according to the following worksheet can be guidelines for energy audit assessment, energy saving recommendation, annual saving of energy, capital investment and simple payback period. Types of the energy saving option: no investment, immediate operation improvement and housekeeping; low investment, short and medium control equipment modification and process change; high investment, long term energy efficient devices, product modification and technology changes. And according to the report format for energy conservation recommendation, title of the recommendation: combined DG set for cooling tower with main cooling tower, discussion of existing system and its operation. Main cooling tower is operating with 30% of its capacity and rated cooling water flow is 500 meter cube per hour. Two cooling water pump are operation continuously with 50% of its rated capacity. A separate cooling tower is also operating for the DG set operation continuously. Description of the proposed system and its operation. DG-set cooling water flow is only 240 meter cube per hour. By adding this flow into the main cooling tower, will eliminate the need of separate cooling tower operation for DG-set. Besides improving the percent loading of main cooling tower, it is suggested to stop the DG-set cooling tower operation. Energy saving calculation: capacity of main cooling tower is 5000 meter square per hour. Temperature across cooling tower is 8 degrees Celsius. Present capacity is 3000 meters cube per hour. Temperature across cooling tower is 4 degrees Celsius. Loading of main cooling tower is 3000 into 4 and 500 into 5000 into 8, that is 30%. Capacity of DC side cooling tower 240 meter cube per hour. Temperature across the tower 5 degrees Celsius. Heat load 1,20,000, 12 lakh calories per hour. Power drawn by the DC side cooling tower, number of pump and its rating to number 7.5 in kilowatt, number of fan its rating, power consumption, additional power required for main cooling tower, annual energy saving potential, and simple payback period less than 2 lakh. Investment only cost of piping 1.5 lakh. Understanding energy cost. Understanding energy cost is a vital factor for the awareness creation and saving calculation. In many industries, sufficient meters may be available to measure the all energy used. In such a case, invoice the fuel and electricity will be useful. The annual company balance sheet in the other source where fuel cost and power are given with the production related information. Energy invoice can be used for following purpose. They provide the record of energy purchased in given year which gives a baseline for the future reference. Energy invoice may indicate the potential for saving when related to production requirement or to the air conditioning of requirement space heating. When electricity is purchased on the basis of maximum demand tariff, they can suggest where saving are most likely to be made. In later year, invoice may be used to quantify the energy and cost saving made through the energy conservation measure. Fuel cost. The wide variety of fuel are available for the thermal energy supply. Few are listed: fuel cost, fuel oil, low sulfur heavy stock, light diesel, liquefied petroleum gas, coal, lignite, and wood. Understanding the fuel cost is fairly simple and it is purchased on tons and liters. Ability, cost, quality are main three factors that should be considered while purchasing. The following factors should be taken into account during the procurement of fuel and energy efficiency and economics. Price at source, transport charge and type of transport, quality of fuel and energy contents. Power cost, the electricity price in India not only varies from state to state but also city to consumer throughout. It does the same work everywhere. Many factors are involved in deciding the final cost of purchased electricity, such as maximum demand charge in kVA, how fast the electricity is used, energy charge in kilowatt hour, how much electricity is consumed, TOD, energy peak and non-peak period, when electricity is utilized, power factor charged, and real power use versus apparent power use factor, other incentives and penalties applied from time to time, high tension tariff and low tension tariff rate change, slab rate cost and its variation, types of tariff clause and rate of various categories such as commercial, residential, industries, government, agriculture, tariff rate for developed and underdeveloped area and state, tax holiday for new project, and purchased energy bills. The typically summary of energy purchased in the industry based on the invoice: electricity, fuel, oil, coal. That is unfortunately different form of the energy are sold in different unit. KWH of electricity, liters of fuel oil, tons of coal, and to allow comparison of energy quantities, these must be converted to a common unit of energy such as kWh, gigajoules, and kilocalories. Electricity, that is 860 kilocalories per kWh, and heavy fuel oil, that is 1000 kilocalories per liter, and coal is 4000 kilocalories per kilojoule. Benchmarking and energy performance. Benchmarking of energy consumption internally, historical and trends analysis, and externally across similar industries are two powerful tools for performance assessment and logical evolution of awareness for improvement. Historical data, well documented, help to bring out the energy consumption and cost, and month wise, day wise, and trends wise to energy consumption cost, and relevant production features. Specific energy consumption help to understand effect of capacity utilization on energy use efficiency and cost on broader scale. And external benchmarking related to inter-unit comparison across a group of similar unit. However, it would be important to ascertain the similar and otherwise finding can be grossly misleading few comparative factors which need to be looked into while benchmarking externally: scale of operation and vintage of technology, raw material specification and quality, product specification and quality, benchmarking energy performance permit, and quantification of fixed and variable energy consumption trends to wise production level, comparison of industry energy performance with respect to various production level capacity utilization, identification of best practice based on the external benchmarking data, scope and marginal available of energy consumption and cost reduction, and basis for monitoring and target setting exercise. The benchmark parameter can be gross production related, kWh per MT, clicker to cement production, cement plant, kWh per kilojoule, yarn produced, textile unit, kWh per kilojoule, paper produced, power produced, and urea of ammonia, kWh per meter, liquid metal output, equipment utility related, tons of refrigeration, thermal efficiency of boiler plant, cooling tower effectiveness of cooling tower, compressed air generated, and liter diesel power generation plant. While such benchmarks are referred to related crucial process parameter need maintaining mentioning for the meaningful comparison among peers. For instance, for the cement plant, types of cement and blend number, Portland and process yield are the reported alongside kWh per meter. And for textile unit, average count, type of yarn and polyester cotton is to be reported alongside the kWh and square meter. For the paper plant, paper type, raw material recycling and GSM quality is some important factor to be reported along with the kWh per meter and kilocalories per kilojoule figures. For the power plant, cogeneration plant, plant loading consideration, vacuum inlet cooling, water temperature would be important factor to be mentioned alongside heat rate. And for fertilizer plant, capacity utilization and on-stream factor are two input worth comparing while mentioning the specific energy consumption. And for the foundry unit, melt output, furnace type, composition, mild steel and high carbon steel, carbon cast carbon, raw material mix, number of power trips could be some useful operation parameter to be reported while mentioning specific energy consumption data. For air conditioning, chilled water temperature level and refrigeration are crucial for comparing kilowatt per year. The boiler plant, fuel quality type, steam pressure, temperature, flow are useful comparator alongside thermal efficiency. More importantly, whether the thermal efficiency on gross calories value basis on net calories value basis, whether the consumption of by direct method or indirect heat loss method may mean a lot of benchmarking exercise of meaningful comparison. Cooling tower effectiveness and ambient air net, dry bulb temperature, relative humidity air and circulating water flow are required to be reported to make the meaningful sense, and compressed air specific power consumption to be compared at similar inlet air temperature and pressure of generation. Diesel power plant performance is to be compared at a similar loading and steady state condition. And plant energy performance. Plant energy performance is the measures whether a plant is now using more or less energy of manufacturing its product than it did in the past, and measures of how well the energy management program is doing. It compares, it changes the energy consumption from one year to another, and considering production output, the plant energy performance monitoring compare plant energy use a reference year with the subsequent year of determining the improvement has been made. However, a plant production output may vary from year to year and output has a significant bearing on plant energy use. For meaningful comparison, it is necessary to determine the energy that could be required to produce this year production output. If the plant had operated the same way as it did during the reference year, this calculated value can be compared with the actual value of determine the improvement and deterioration that has been taken place since the reference year. Production factor is used to determine the energy that would have been required to produce this year production output if the plant has operated in the same way as it did the reference year. It is the ratio of production in the current year to that of the reference year. Production factor, that is current year production divided by reference year production. Reference year equivalent energy use. The reference year energy use that would has been used to produce the current year production output may be called the reference year energy use equivalent, and reference year equivalent for short. The reference year equivalent is obtained by multiplying the reference year energy used by the production factor obtained, that is reference year equivalent equal to reference year energy used into production factor. The improvement and deterioration from the reference year is called energy performance, and it is measure of the plant energy management process. It is the reduction and increase in the current year energy use over the reference, and is calculated by subtracting the current year energy use from the reference year equivalent, and the result is divided by reference year equivalent and multiplied by 100 to obtain the percentage. Plant energy performance, reference year equivalent minus current year energy divided by reference year equivalent into 100. The energy performance is percentage of energy saved in the current rate of use compared to the reference year rate of use. The greater the improvement and higher the number will be. Monthly energy performance. Experience Experience, however, has shown that once the plant has started measuring yearly energy performance, management wants more frequent performance informed in order to monitor and control energy used ongoing basis. PEP can just and easily be to used to monthly reporting and year reporting, matching energy usage of requirement. Mismatching between the equipment capacity and user requirement often lead to the inefficiency due to the part load operation wastage and worst case design, it is designer practice, and while the optimizing in energy management mandate and many situations present themselves towards and exercise involve graceful matching of energy equipment capacity to end use need, and some example eliminate throttling the pump by impeller trimming and resizing pump and installing variable speed drive, eliminating damper operation in fan by impeller trimming and installing variable speed drives, and pulley diameter modification for belt drives, fan resizing for better efficiency, modern modulation of chilled water temperature for process chilling need, and recovery of energy lost in control valve, pressure drop by back pressure and turbine adoption. Adoption of task lighting is the place of least effective area lighting. Maximizing system efficiency. Once the energy usage and source are mismatched properly, the next step is to operate the equipment efficiently through the best practice of operation and maintenance as well as judicial technology adoption, and some illustration in this. They eliminate the steam leakage by trap improvement, maximize condensate recovery, adopt combustion control for maximizing combustion efficiency, replace pump, fan, air compressor, refrigeration compressor, boiler and furnace, heater and other energy consumption equipment, whether the significant energy efficiency margin exists, and optimizing the input energy requirement consequent upon the fine tuning of energy use practice and attention to accorded with consideration for maximizing energy equipment requirement. The range of measures could include shuffling and compressor to match need, and periodic review of insulation thickness, and identify potential for heat exchanger and networking and process integration, and optimizing transformer operation with respect to load. Fuel and energy substitution. In fuel substitution existing fuel, fossil fuel will more efficient and less cost and less polluting fuels such as natural gas, biogas, and locally available agro residues. Energy is an important input in the production. There are two ways to reduce the energy dependency: energy conservation and substitution. Fuel substitution has taken place in all major sectors in Indian economy. Kerosene and liquid petroleum gas has substituted soft coke in the residential use. For example, fuel substitute. Natural gas is increasing the fuel of choice as fuel and feedstock in the fertilizer, petrochemical, power and sponge iron industries. Replacement of coal by coconut shell and rice husk, and replacement of LDOI all SHS. For example, the energy substitution replacement of energy heater by steam heater, and replacement of steam based hot water by solar system. An example of fuel substitution and textile process industry replace oil fired thermic fluid heater and agro fuel fired heater, and economic of the project are given below. The title of recommendation, that is use of agro fuel coconut chip with agro fired heater, and a description of existing system and its operation. A thermic fuel heater and furnace oil currently in the same plant and coconut chip fired a boiler and operating continuously with the good performance. Description of proposed system and its operation. It is suggested to replace the oil fired thermic fluid heater with the coconut chip fired boiler, as the company has facility to handling the coconut chip fired system. And fuel energy saving calculation, old system, the average thermal efficiency, heavy duty operating hour and annual cost. And modified system, type of fuel saving, GCV, average thermal efficiency, heat duty, annual operating cost, annual saving, additional auxiliary power, manpower, net annual saving, and investment for new coconut fired heater. And simple payback period is 6 months. Energy audit instrument. The requirement of energy audit, such as identification and quantification of energy necessities measurement. These measurements require the use of instrument. These instruments must be profitable, portable, durable, easy to operate, and relative inexpensive. The parameters generally monitored during the energy audit may be include the following. First is basic energy. Basic electrical parameter, AC or DC system, voltage, current, power factor, active power, apparent power, reactive power, energy consumption, frequency, harmonics. Parameter of important other thermal, other than electrical, such as temperature and heat flow, radiation and air and gas flow, liquid flow and revolution per minute, air velocity, noise and vibration, dust concentration, total dissolved solid and moisture content and relative humidity, flue gas analysis, CO2, O2, CO, SOx and NOx, combustion efficiency. Key instruments for energy audit are listed below, that is the operating instrument for all instruments must be understood, and staff should be familiarize themselves with the instrument and their operation prior to actual audit use. Electrical measuring instrument. These are instruments for measuring major electrical parameters such as kVA, kilowatt, power factor, hertz, kVAr, reactive power, ampere, and volt. In addition to some of these instruments are also measure harmonics. These instruments are applied online, that is on running motor, without any need of stop the motor. Instant measurement can be taken with the handheld meter while motor advance one facilitating cumulative reading with printout at a specific interval. And combustion analyzer. Combustion analyzer. This instrument has inbuilt chemical cells which measures various gases such as O2, CO, and NOx, nitric oxide, and sulfur oxide. And fuel efficiency monitor. This measures the oxygen and temperature of the fuel gas, calories, values of the common fuel, and feed into the microprocessor which calculates the combustion efficiency. And Pyrite, in hand valve pump draw the fuel gas samples into the solution inside the pyrite. A chemical reaction change the liquid volume, revealing the amount of gas. A separate pyrite can be used to O2 and CO2 measurement. Contact thermometer. These are the thermocouple which measure, for the example, flue gases, hot air, hot water temperature by inserting a probe into the stream. And for surface temperature, a leaf type probe is used with the same instrument. Infrared thermometer. This is the non-contact type of measurement which, when directed at a heat source, directly gives the temperature readout, and the instrument is useful for measuring hot spot in the furnace and surface temperature. Pitot tube and manometer. The air velocity in duct can be measured using the pitot tube and inclined manometer for further calculation of flows. Water flow meters. This non-contact flow measuring device using the Doppler effect and ultrasonic principle. There is a transmitter and receiver which are positioned on opposite side of the pipe, and the meter directly gives the flow, and water and other fluid flow can be easily measured with this meter. Then speed measurement. In any audit exercise, speed measurement are critical as they may change with frequency, belt slip and loading. A simple tachometer is the contact type instrument which can be used where direct access is possible. More sophisticated and safer ones are non-contact instruments such as stroboscopes. That is called stroboscope, and this is called tachometer. Leak detector, a ultrasonic instrument are available which can be used to detect the leak of compressed air and other gases which are normally not possible to detect with human abilities. And lux meter. Illumination level are measured with the lux meter. It consists of photocell which sense the light output and convert to electrical impulse which are calibrated as a lux, that is luminous. So these are the questions related to the energy management and audit.